Xin chào! Chào mừng, tôi là Mara and today I'm going to present you episode 1 from the solo volunteering trip in Vietnam series. Have fun! I should learn how to say that in Vietnamese as well. Okay, that's a challenge for the next vlogs. Just arrived in Da Nang today. This is my bed. I'm gonna go get some dinner and I think I will join the free talk on the rooftop of the cafe. I don't have a pretty view here, but yeah, I'm close to the seaside. A bit far from the city center, but it's not a problem because I can just walk. So walking. Seriously, Mara? No. I didn't walk. I was actually far from the city center, maybe like 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers from the airport and like 4 kilometers from the city center. So I just, every time I wanted to go to the city center, I just booked a Grab scooter and I went like that. Okay, just some insights about the volunteering activity that I've joined for in Da Nang. In Da Nang, there are many English centers, English cafes that act like an English center. So what happens is that parents bring their children there and then they just practice English with volunteers. And actually adults can join as well. So when I was there, I had 2 different things to do. I had classes with children. Maybe the youngest was like 6, 7 years old, and then the oldest was 13 or 14. And they already do know the lesson because there is an English teacher who teaches them, but they do need help from volunteers to practice the pronunciation and also to just do different activities based on those topics that they learn about. So every time before a class, I would be given a paper with a lesson, so I know what children have to know or should know. And then there are some exercises, some kind of like questions based on those words. So that is how we as volunteers help them learn English. We just have to make sure that we have a discussion based on those words using those questions that are given. Do you also have a school cultural studies? Number 8. Can you say
cultural studies?
Yes. And then number 9 is sociology.
Sociology.
Yes. And then medicine.
Medicine. My sister in Germany, she medicine.
She studies medicine. Ah, okay. So, what is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject?
Yes. From school?
Information.
You like informatics? Yeah.
Craft.
Oh, okay. Ah, okay. And for you, what is your favorite subject in school? Craft. Okay. And yours? Informatics. I have a microscope. Do you know what a microscope is?
Yes, I know.
So it's a device.
You can see to the moon.
No, that's a telescope. Microscope is I can see the cells. Something super small. I put it under the microscope.
Yeah, I know it. Science.
Science, yes.
I know. We put a leaf.
A leaf? Ah, and you can see the leaf, right?
Then we will see the germs in the leaf. But we can see
That's can be also biology, but biology is also part of science.
then we can see parasites and germs.
And germs.
And of course, you can always come up with a game or something more interactive, because children, they are very tired. Like they are at school from early morning, and then some of them also have classes in the afternoon, and then they also have to come to this English center for classes. So yeah, you can imagine it's very exhausting for them.
Do it again. Do it again. Now you are recorded because I'm filming.
What?
I'm filming. Hi. Cuckoo bow.
Come here. Monster, come here.
You want to be in the movie? I'm filming.
No.
Okay.
Where am I? Do you know where am I?
You are
I can see.
Yeah,
No.
so you have to be like this. Yeah. Okay, so you have to play the game.
Hello.
I'm gonna explain to you the game. No, cuckoo. Thank you.
Hello, cuckoo bird.
No.
Oh, right. Oh, I have an idea. Hey, I have an idea. I have an idea. The girls win, we get this sticker, and the boys win, we get this sticker. That's better.
Let's see. I think everybody will receive a sticker if you can play the game well. Let's see. So
Let's see.
we have many cards. We have many cards here that show the person who gets.
From the Netherlands, before I traveled to Vietnam, I bought a small pack of stickers with cars and a small pack of stickers with fairy tales and a little game which is called Guess Up, and right now I'm trying to explain to them how to play this together.
In what they are, you have to show it through hands or explaining. See what this is, you know it. So you have to tell him so he can guess. Do not say, "Man, you saw it." You don't have to say.
Hey, look. Okay.
No, wait.
Okay.
Like this one. So keep it like this.
Oh.
So try to explain this one without saying what it is. Don't say the word. He needs to say the word. So, yeah. Okay, so look. Keep them. Choose one. Try to guess.
Hey, teacher sticker.
This one?
Now.
What is this? Is this food?
Mine.
Is this
A black cat. What? Cat. Why do you know? My turn to choose.
for her, right?
Hey, you're talking blue.
Because he bring soda in blue.
Yes. So blue.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah. Let's go.
Wait.
No, ambulance.
What?
Ambulance.
Okay, guys.
What teacher? How many
The graphic.
I don't know.
The second part was in the evenings we had free talks. So what it means is that mostly adults join those, so adults above 20 years old.
They just come from work or from school directly there, and then as volunteers we just have to talk to them. So it's a free conversation. There is no topic, no lesson, no vocabulary, words written on paper or so on and so forth. So it's just me asking them who they are, what they do, and them asking me, maybe mostly them asking me because they are curious why I'm in Vietnam and why am I doing what I'm doing. So they just ask me where I come from, where is my country situated, if I'm a student, if I work, and things like this. The challenge here is that at some point you just finish the topics, like you already know about them, because there are people also that come every day, or maybe not every day, but like 4 times per week. So I got to see the same faces also. And yeah, of course, I cannot ask them again, what's your name and what do you do? Because I already know about them from the previous days. And then it's a matter like of coming up with something interesting, you know, like to maintain the conversation. And that is one challenge that as a volunteer you have, or at least I had. But it's very interesting because actually you can talk about anything and everything, but at the same time, you still need to be on the spot, you know, like, okay, what should I ask? Because then it's quiet, because some of them also, they don't know what to ask. Maybe they are a bit shy. Maybe they don't trust the English skills that they have at that moment. So of course, for them, it's harder to actually start up the conversation. So it's on you as a volunteer to do that. But actually, I really enjoyed these free talks, because you get to learn a lot from them, and they get to learn a lot from you, because we talked about cultures, like how different is the Romanian culture compared to the Vietnamese one. We talked about careers. I met also programmers like me, and then we talked about the programming languages that we do, and how the work culture is in Vietnam compared to where I work in the Netherlands. So it's actually, if you think about it, you have a lot to talk about. And then there were days in which I was walking on the streets and then see okay, so I can actually share what I saw. So there are specific days during the month in which some people just burn something in front of their house. But back then, I didn't know what it is. I saw they burn something. I thought it's actually, they do barbecue. But I was like, no, this neighbor... Okay, let's say this neighbor does barbecue, but this neighbor also does barbecue, and this neighbor also does barbecue. No, it's not barbecue, Mara. Like, you have to ask. So then I asked actually Vietnamese, and they told me, yeah, so there are specific months according to the lunar calendar in which they actually burn paper. It's called votive paper in English. There is money made from that paper, houses, cars, and all these objects, and they buy those objects from that paper. They burn it because they say that so they pray to ancestors, and they say that ancestors need these objects on the other in the other universe, you know, like they need money to live there in their own world. They need a house, they need a car, so they do that. So yeah, that's actually wow. I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that. I do have Vietnamese friends here in the Netherlands, but actually none of them told me that. And when I got there, I was like, whoa. Okay, that's new. So yeah, it's these kind of interactions that actually help you get to know them better and their culture. And this is how you can actually make friends. Like, I made a lot of friends back then in Da Nang, so I take a moment to say hi to them. They know who they are. I don't have to say the name. It's exciting for me because I help them, but I help them through a nicer way than just studying grammar. I think it's a really nice way of learning a foreign language in general, not necessarily just English.
I recommend kind of now the I can practice quite the I person the microphone
Aside from making new friends who are local, like local Vietnamese, you also get to meet the other volunteers. You can choose to live in the English center because there is a room. It's kind of like a hostel based accommodation. There is one room with 4 separated beds, and then up to 4 volunteers can stay in the room. So this way you can actually meet foreigners as well. So then you also share with them about their trips, or yeah, I tell them, okay, I went here in Vietnam and here, and they are like, yeah, so before Vietnam I went to Thailand and I did this, so yeah, I want to go to Laos. So if you go to Laos, make sure you get the visa from here. Like, it's just the backpacking culture. That's the fun part of it as well. Now you have the locals, you have the foreigners who are like you, just volunteers or just simply travelers who happen to be there with you, and then you just share experiences and you get to learn from each other and inspire each other, and that's amazing in my opinion. But a funny thing about the room is when I got there, the manager told me that the sink in our room is broken. So we either have to use the sink from a different toilet in the same building, or we use the shower. And of course, none of us wanted to go to use a different sink. So we just brushed our teeth in the shower. Why not? The room was messy. I mean, not too messy, but it was kind of messy. We had to clean by ourselves. Your choice if you want to stay in a hotel or if you want to live in this room. I really like my roommates. I like the vibe. I like the area, even though it was far from the city center. I liked it a lot because locals were living there. So actually, when I was walking on the streets, I didn't see any tourists, but I could see how locals live. That's actually where I noticed people making the fire in front of their house. So if I was in the city center, maybe I would have missed that, because there are also hotels and like tourist places. I can easily go to a hotel some other time when I just go for traveling, but now I just want to get the raw experience. If the room is dirty, it's okay. I will make sure I keep it as clean as possible. If the sink is broken, it's okay. I can brush my teeth in the shower. I do it anyways, like 2 times per day, so it's okay. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really miss it now. I will let the photos speak for you and the videos. I'm just walking on the streets of Da Nang in the area where I live to experience the local atmosphere. There are no tourists around here, so I can actually see how people here live.
I joined one of my housemates to the hairdresser. She had her hair dyed and I got a haircut.
Just got a haircut. Now my hair is straight, but normally it's very curly. And I discussed with the staff. We're using Google Translate because they couldn't speak English. And I told them that I still want to have bangs. And then I showed them a picture with a Korean girl. But then they told me that my hair cannot look like that because it's just different. Like, it's a different type of hair and it's too much here, so it cannot look like that. And then I was like, okay, then I will just trust them. And then I translated from English to Vietnamese. You can choose something nice for me. And then they did this. Now it also starts to get curly again, but like, it looks interesting. Like, wow. It's like Asian haircut, I guess. Looks nice, I really like it. Now it's raining and it's gonna destroy my hair.
Here I was on a Grab scooter on my way to Bana Hills. Bana Hill Station, or Sun World Bana Hills, is a hill station situated at 1,500 meters above the sea level. It is built in 1919 by the French colonists. Their idea was to build a leisure resort for French tourists. The Bana cable car is open since 2013 and holds the world record for the longest non-stop single-track cable car of almost 6 kilometers in length. Later, in 2018, the Golden Bridge was built, which has become nowadays a new symbol of Da Nang's tourism. The pair of giant stone hands appear as if they are constructed centuries ago.
If you want to get a picture in which there's no one on the bridge, at the Golden Hands Bridge, I think you have to be here at like 8 AM. There are also a lot of tourists who come by bus as a group, so maybe even earlier than 8, so you're sure you enter before them. There's the meditation place, and here the marvelous garden. And I'm going now to check out the memory garden. It's just less people here, so I will take a break.
Tu n'existais pas, dis-moi pourquoi j'existerais. Je traînerai dans un monde sans toi, sans espoir et sans rêve. Nên ai cũng đồng vai Bồ Tát, không người nào xa lạc phàm phu.
If any of you know what this song is about, can you please write it down in the comments of this video?
Hạ quân kẻ phát tâm tu cầu về cực lạc, là đầu nhập môn cõi ấy vốn người nhân thiện tà.
I literally feel like I'm in France right now.
chuyển về khu vực sân khấu để đón xem chương trình. Chương trình biểu diễn nghệ thuật diễn ra liên tục từ 10 giờ đến 15 giờ hàng ngày.
I'm still in Bana Hills, the amusement park, in the French village. And there was a building, like I'm in a building that looks kind of like a castle from outside. And there was an elevator, so I just pressed 3 to go to the conference room. And I'm alone here, I don't know what. All doors are closed. Yeah, locked. I can only see this. Okay, outside you can see this. Okay. So apparently I can go upstairs. Wait. I don't think I should be here. Yeah. Let's go downstairs again. I'm currently alone in a cable car on the way to Da Nang City from the Golden Bridge. So I just arrived back to Da Nang City from the Golden Bridge. There is a cable car from here up to the Golden Bridge, and then from the Golden Bridge there is one more, a very short one, to the French village, and they are both worth seeing. The buildings are real, like it's real concrete, and they are hotels and restaurants, so you can actually live there. It's really nice to see. It was very crowded now. It's almost 3 p.m. here, and I went up at 8:45, so it's like, yeah, 6-7 hours around. I also tried the roller coaster in the fantasy park that is located in the French village. I would say it's so-and-so, because it's nothing crazy. It's just like a snake, and then you have 2 handlers, so you can actually control it. So you accelerate like this, and then you brake like this. Yes, it's just for all ages. It depends just on your height. Now I head back to Da Nang City by motorbike, so I'm going to grab a Grab bike. To go and visit the Lin Un Pagoda from the Son Cha Peninsula, I also took a scooter from Da Nang City. Da Nang has actually 3 Lin Un Pagodas, that's why this one is often called Lin Un Son Cha Pagoda. It was built in 2004 and it is almost 700 meters above sea level. The Lin Un Pagoda is considered to be the Buddha realm. Legends say that centuries ago, during the kingdom of Ming Mang, a local fisherman from the Son Cha Peninsula found a Buddha statue that came from the waves and arrived on sand. They immediately established the worship as they considered it auspicious. After this moment, the sea was calmer and the fishermen started to have a stable business. The peninsula is seen as a harmony place between the mountains and the water. The last tourist attraction that I visit around Da Nang City is the Marble Mountain. And yes, as you may have guessed, I also go there by scooter. But this time not with Grab, but with my local friend that I've met a few days before. Marble Mountains is a group of 5 limestone peaks that represent the 5 elements: water, metal, wood, fire, and earth. This is also a spiritual site, as the mountains are home to a network of caves, tunnels, towers, and pagodas built a long time ago. As a fact, do you remember that I mentioned there are 3 Lin Un Pagodas around Da Nang City? Well, there is one in each place I've been to. There is one in Bana Hills, there is one on the Son Cha Peninsula, the big one that I showed you, And there is one more in the Marble Mountains. And these 3 pagodas form kind of like a triangle over Da Nang, a spiritual triangle.
Thank you so much for watching my vlog. If you have any questions, impressions or simple thoughts, leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe to my visual journal to stay connected for more.